Is Roman Reigns really to blame for what's going on in the WWE? Now, I know a lot of people are going to jump in right away. He's being pushed down our throats. But is he really? That is the question I want to answer. Now, when it comes to WWE, we all know that you got to make Roman Reigns look strong. That's been the edict going back since CM Punk left the WWE and what he was told. You just got to make Roman look strong. Now, is it wrong for a company to handpick a superstar who they want to be the face of the company? No, it's not. Is it wrong of us to constantly demand our favorite superstar be that person, but if they get to that level and we don't support them, is it also a problem? When I look at Roman Reigns, the thing that really jumps out at me is, he is kind of bad at a lot of things. There is one thing I can't discredit him for, is that Roman Reigns hasn't given up. He hasn't really necessarily buckled under the pressure. And I think one of the big things to blame isn't necessarily just the writers. I think he definitely has a fault in it. I think Roman Reigns, when it comes down to it, is kind of put in a crappy position where if you know you're going to be the next big guy and you just can't go out there and seal the deal, it's kind of an issue. But with so many fans against him, and you heard what happened when he turned on Triple H, the crowd lost it. And I know a huge portion of the IWC hates Roman Reigns, and I know why we hate them, why we dislike Roman, and it's for the fact that, he's not our guy, but they're not necessarily hating on him because he should be booed like a heel should. We're just kind of hating on him because, they're forcing him down our throats. But every TV show has those characters that they push because they're important to the story. Now, you see what happens when guys like John Cena get injured now. Guys like Seth Rollins. Guys like Daniel Bryan who are no longer with the company. You got to do something. And the big edict I keep hearing all the time is you got to push guys. Like, why isn't Dolph a main eventer? And I'm that guy too. I'm sitting in this position like Dolph should be a main eventer. But when they gave him the ball and ran with it twice, he got hurt and could no longer compete. So injuries are kind of dooming these guys from the start that even when they do get a push, they're kind of screwed. Roman Reigns was the same thing, that he was going to go on to be the next big thing, and then he got injured for 6 months, and then he wins Superstar of the Year award, and everybody's like, he wasn't even around. And they were making a big deal out of it, which I agree with. But we really haven't given Roman Reigns much of a chance so far. The last couple months, he's kind of stepped it up. Some of his promos have still sucked, and the fact that they keep stacking the odds against. And our general reaction on the internet is, we all know what's going to happen. They're stacking the odds against him so he can overcome it all. Well, we don't know that. I still would be a firm believer in WWE pulling a swerve to get Roman out of the title picture to where possibly Dean Ambrose could eliminate him in the Royal Rumble. He could eliminate Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose could come out later. They could create some sort of a feud. Roman Reigns doesn't necessarily have to have the title for them to keep stacking the odds against him. Now, it would be true that when it comes to Roman Reigns, it is kind of getting a little boring. I mean, the fact that he's overcoming everybody, week in and week out. Daniel Bryan did it without it ever being forced. Daniel Bryan just went out there and wrestled more than one superstar in a night. People saw it and were like, damn, we want this guy. In these situations, it is being force-fed in a way, but is that necessarily a bad thing? In today's day and age, when we've already got it spoiled that the New Japan guys are coming in, that we now know, when certain WrestleMania matches were meant to happen, but then an injury takes place, and with social media and everything that happens, how are they going to pull a huge swerve on us? When they finally do pull a swerve or keep a return secret or something like that, we then find another way to complain. So if you're the company, if you're WWE, right, and you want to get this guy over because you know he could make money, and from what you've seen from Roman can make money. Roman is just being put in these unorganic spots. He tries to go out there, and you know damn well the writing team is giving him these ridiculous commentary lines, suffer and succotash, and all this crap that wrestling fans are being meant to hate him. But people hate John Cena, the amount of IWC fans, and he was still the number one seller of merchandise. So just because we hate him in the IWC doesn't necessarily mean that represents the views of the fans, because in live attendance or live shows or at events, Roman Reigns is getting cheered. And I know, Road Dogg and all these other agents are getting shit because they stick up for him. They're like, bro, I don't know what the hell you're listening to. Are you watching the arenas? And that's true. The big majority of people that complain about Roman Reigns do it on the internet. And they do it for good reasons, I think, that we all kind of complain. It's like, if he was to organically get over and then, he was just boom, he was that guy, I don't think we'd have a problem with it, because of the fact that 2.5, 3 years ago, CM Punk said he got to make him look strong. And then ever since then, it has led to this. We just keep hating on him more and more because of the fact we knew the plans 3 years ago. We knew they were going to make Roman Reigns the top guy. He didn't just come out of nowhere. And I think that is the hardest thing for wrestling fans to grasp when you want something that's exciting. You want something that's unpredictable. When you know 3 years ago, okay, this guy is going to be the guy, it sucks. When John Cena was becoming the guy, they didn't push him as the guy. It just happened. Whether you hate John Cena or you love John Cena, he kind of organically became the guy, and then they pushed him as the guy because he was the guy. In Roman Reigns' case, they're pushing him like the guy, but he is not the guy. He is being made to be the guy, which isn't a problem when it's your company. It's not me choosing. But if I'm not buying tickets or not supporting your product, you have to realize at a certain point, okay, this isn't working. But if you look at everything that's happening with the WWE and they invest in a stock like Seth Rollins, even if Roman Reigns beat him for the title, that was a story that was leading up to it. Seth Rollins screwed him at Mania. Seth Rollins took away that opportunity from Roman Reigns. If Roman Reigns finally got the redemption on Seth Rollins and did his thing, that is a well-thought-out story that I would be more than happy to cheer. Well, Seth Rollins is gone, so they have to now push it up. For all we know, because I wasn't expecting Sheamus to be as transitional of a champion as he was. It seems like the WWE, especially with Kalisto's title change right now, they're definitely in a state of worry. And when it comes to Vince McMahon constantly stacking the odds against Roman Reigns, we instantly see it as we can overcome it. But there's a lot of things I think we're missing as fans that, they are pushing him as this guy. But because of the fact that we knew this 3 years ago, I don't think there is anything that Roman Reigns could do at this point other than go full John Cena and go heel, opposite of John Cena, go full heel, don't give a shit about beat anybody. I don't think Roman Reigns is ever going to get over with the IWC fans because of the information that we know. And that information that we know kills kayfabe. And it sucks because as a fan, there's a lot that Roman Reigns does that is good. There is a lot of things that Roman Reigns does that he needs time for. A guy like Seth Rollins had how long to constantly build up and find his niche. At first he was flip-flopping with the Authority. He needed him. He didn't need him. He eventually found his groove with putting on awesome matches, being entertaining. That took a while. Roman Reigns is going to take a while, and it's going to look like they're constantly being force-fed, and it's going to look annoying. But my serious question to everybody is, because of the fact that we knew 3 years ago, going into that Royal Rumble match from CM Punk, that Roman Reigns was the guy, is there anything that they can do to make him the guy that would please us? And I think the honest answer is no. And so the casual thing would be, well, see, nobody's ever going to like him. Stop his push. Derail his career. We don't want him. Give us Ziggler. Give us Owens. Give us the guys we want. Last year, he was being made to look like the big guy. And who became the big guy? Seth Rollins. So I think we just got to take a step back and realize, he is being pushed as a top guy, but it hasn't played out yet. Stone Cold Steve Austin, when he eventually turned and joined McMahon, was like, holy shit. We don't know where this is going. If this is just going to be him simply overcoming everybody at the Royal Rumble, I would be very disappointed. Part of me still has hope that WWE is planning a huge swerve that would make this exciting. So I have not wrote off Roman Reigns yet. He still may be boring in certain cases. He still may need to work on a lot of things, but this is a man's career, and because of the fact that we knew everything that we did, we haven't given him a fair shake. So I think a big part of this falls on not only the writers, but the talent. Roman, you got to step up, man. You got to do Roman Reigns. And I don't know what that's going to take. I don't know what you do to get over with a fan, but that's your job. And if you're just along for the ride and you know them constantly stacking the odds against you is constantly pissing people off, as a superstar, you have to speak up. You have to do what you know is right. And hopefully what they have planned for Roman Reigns is big. I hope they enjoy it. I want to know what you guys think. Can Roman Reigns ever get over because of the fact we know what we know? Let me know in the comment section below.